Hey, welcome to Classic Value Investors and Microcap Explosions. This is your favorite YouTuber, Mariusz Konieczny. Okay, today I'm making this video because of a comment that a Redman made on my previous video, I'm Rich by Lazy. But before I get into it's a great story, but before I get to this comment, I just want to say one thing. Look, guys, maybe there was a little bit of misunderstanding. Look, from the previous video, I do not feel even a 1% guilt that I made all this money. It's not about it at all. I feel great about it. I think it's fantastic that it's possible. You see, that's how capitalism works. Capitalism is about who owns capital, who owns companies, right? And if you own stock in a particular company, you are the owner. So even though somebody else does the hard work, you as an owner, you benefit. And one person pointed out that even though someone else is drilling on Santa Tomas or whatever, or getting clients and stuff, they are not risking any capital. And it's true. They are not risking any capital at all. And that's why they only get paid for their time. And me being an investor or raising money for the company and capitalizing the company, I am risking. So it's a totally different game. But still, as a child, the only way to build wealth that was possible was to be a direct owner of a business and work in that business and maybe have employees and spend all of your time running that business. That was like the only way that was possible. And only later, when I discovered stock market, I realized that there are other ways. And that's all this is all about. But anyway, let's get to this comment because it's an absolute fantastic story. And this is why I have this channel. This is why I have Microcap Explosions, because stories like this are possible. And it's by Redman. So he said, I feel the same way, but worse. I am only 20 and already Oracle has built me a six-figure portfolio. 6 figures. So the guy has at least $100,000, right? And at the age of 20, I didn't even have $1,000 to my name when I was 20. So he's like 100x ahead of where I was. In a few more years, I may be a millionaire. Do I deserve this? Of course you do. Of course you do. And if you continue doing what you're doing, you will be a millionaire. It's not may. I may be a millionaire. You will be a millionaire if you continue investing the way we're talking about. Do I deserve this? All I've done is make $40K working minimum wage part-time since high school. I've never even worked full-time. I mean, let this sink in, guys. The guy is working minimum wage. Okay, he's 20 years old, minimum wage. So McDonald's, retail, right? Minimum wage. And he has a 6-figure portfolio. Some doctors and lawyers don't have a six-figure portfolio because they blow all their money on cars and, nonsense. And this guy working minimum wage has $100,000 or more to his name. That is what is possible. Okay, and now his peers, what do? They complain that that the minimum wage is not high enough, right? That's what they do. I put that money into MCE names that frankly my understanding of is laughable besides Oracle. I feel like a lottery winner, big time imposter syndrome. So, okay, he said he put that money into MCE names. So I assume you are MCE member. I don't recognize you because you go under a different username, but you must be a Microcap Explosion member. And so, okay, so you're saying you don't understand some of the other names except Oracle. Well, at least, you see, here's the thing. When some people call me and tell me, oh, Oracle is your only win, and show me other ideas. Well, first of all, go and read my books. Go and read my Why Are We So Clueless book and look at the ideas there that were 10 years ago and see how they performed since then. Go and read my coronavirus book and see how they did, okay? So I've done actually very well. The most biggest failure that I had was the stupid miners. Okay. And I was pretty open about it. But anyway, I'm not here to convince anybody. The point that I'm trying to make is that when somebody says, oh, you had one winner, the best response to them is, that's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need 10 winners. You don't. One winner, one huge winner can change your life. Two winners can make you 100 million. So for example, what I'm doing right now, and a lot of times I keep things quiet because I don't want arguments. I don't want people to give me opinions. Just like when I was buying Oracle, like I put a huge portion of my portfolio into Oracle because I had this huge conviction. And I didn't really ask my friends or my family, oh, is it okay that I put so much money? I just do it. And then, it turned out what it turned out. So right now, Oracle, because a lot of my shares are restricted and because I want it like this, is about 80% of my net worth. Okay, the other 20% is mostly in two other ideas. And then I have like 10 names, but the other names are very, very tiny in comparison. So that, I own them, but they don't really count. It's really three main ideas. Oracle about 80%. The second idea will be about, I don't know, exactly like two of them will be like 20% or something like that. So I am like already like, as I'm making more money, I'm diversifying because new money, obviously, I'm not putting into Oracle. And so the second idea and third idea, I think are going to be massive for me, but especially the second idea. So Redman, if you are a Microcap Explosions member, you know exactly what I mean. And then the second idea, we are like in the middle of a private placement right now. And I will own about $1 million worth of that stock after the private placement closes. Okay. So it's much smaller than Oracle, but I have such strong conviction in this particular idea that I think if it's a failure, it's a 10x. If it's a success, it's anywhere between 100 to 200x. So I'm looking at making between minimum 10 million on it and most likely between 100 and 200 million. Let that sink in. Between 100 and 200 million. And I'm being very quiet about it, okay? Because I don't want, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you're taking too much risk, blah, 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 blah. I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm comfortable with this. I researched it enough, and we as a group, we are injecting capital into this company, and that capital will just turbocharge the growth. So I'm pretty comfortable with it. But I am facing a possibility, a good possibility of making $100 million, between $100 and $200 million. And who am I? Am I a doctor? No. Am I a lawyer? No. Am I a hedge fund manager? No. I am just an average guy who used to make a living ballroom dancing. Didn't even have a real career. Never. Okay, after I graduated college, I was a real estate appraiser, which, wasn't really a career. It was like I worked a lot, but it wasn't like a career that most people think of. Oh, I'm an investment banker or I'm a consultant. No, it was just, it wasn't consistent. It wasn't a stable paycheck. I never really had a stable paycheck, never. And here I am looking at a possibility of making $100 to $200 million. And if only that second idea works out, then all I had is two big wins, right? Oracle and this idea. I didn't need 10 wins. I didn't need a huge portfolio. So look, Redman, you know which idea it is, okay? So put some money into it, maybe a small portion from what you already have, pull it out, put it into this, and you will be a millionaire if this idea succeeds. And if I'm putting $1 million of my own money, I have a pretty goddamn big conviction that it's going to work. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. But it's just, I just love this story. And I want to hear more of these stories because the other day, like a month ago or two, I went to Chicago for my mom's birthday and I met up with one of the MCE members. And he's like a financial advisor, something like that. And he told me a story that one of his clients is like a doctor. She makes like $700 or $400,000 a year. And her portfolio is like $500,000, okay? And then this dude here, working a minimum wage, has at least $100,000, maybe I mean, six figures, anywhere between 100 to 900. So he could be like, he could have a portfolio as big as hers, and she's a doctor and makes $700,000 a year. But I doubt that it's 400,000 for him. He's probably, just about $100,000. But still, working a minimum wage job and $100,000, if he takes this $100,000 and invests it properly, yeah, he will turn it into $1 million. And his peers will never be able to catch up to him. It doesn't matter if they're going to become lawyers, doctors, whatever. That's what's possible. That's what we want to use stocks for. So stocks, and nobody will teach you this. Nobody in school will teach you this. They're going to tell you to invest in big names, Microsoft, Apple, have a diversified portfolio, let it grow 10% a year, and by the time you die, you're going to have $1 million. I mean, that's what they're teaching you. And if you put too much money into, your top ideas, you're being irresponsible, you're risking too much, you don't know what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. And yet, at the same time, the biggest names and the richest people in the world, that's exactly how they made money. So anyway, that's it for this video. Redman, fantastic story. I want to hear more stories like this because they inspire me. They make, me making videos and MCE, they give me a reason to do so. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one.